Welcome to the 22nd episode of the J&J podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Joe.
Thank you guys so much for listening to us each and every single week. By golly, I honestly God cannot even believe that you people waste your time on this show every week. I really can't.
But we love you.
Yes, we absolutely love you. Joe, we're actually about to break 1,000 downloads.
Wow.
We are full speed away, and I can't even believe I'm saying that. It just kind of feels like just like yesterday we were saying, dude, we're gonna get to 100 downloads. Dude, we're gonna get to 200.
Yeah. We're about to hit quadruple digits.
Yeah, we are at this moment. We are at 964 downloads.
Wow, so much closer than I thought. I honestly thought you were gonna say 920.
How much long? I mean, when we started this podcast, we started about 5 months ago, almost 6 months ago. How long did you think it was going to take for us to reach 1,000 downloads?
Well, I'll be honest with you, and I hope you're not offended, and fans, I hope you're not offended either. But I, honest to goodness, thought that we would burn out before we reached 1,000.
You thought we burn? What do you mean we burn out?
I thought that we would hit maximum maybe 130 people, and then after 13 or 14 episodes, it would be like, okay, this isn't working, and so we're gonna just stop, right? But you guys, man, you proved me wrong. I'm not always wrong, but when I am, it's because my fans showed me wrong.
It really is mind-boggling to me. Like sometimes, I'm just laying there. And I'm thinking, like, wow, I put out this podcast and people listen to us each and every single week. And, like, I don't know why. But I'm so grateful for it, honestly. I feel very grateful and I feel very loved because of it. And I honestly look forward to doing this each and every week.
Yeah, I've got to say, this is one of the highlights of my week.
Yeah. And, so, Joseph, how are you doing?
Good. I'm actually really tired. I just got back from a vacation with my family, and oddly enough, I feel more tired than when I left.
I got you. So it wasn't like a relaxing vacation.
Well, what the fans probably don't know is I have a little brother, and he's a little guy. He's about 8 years old. So I feel like it's really hard to have an actual relaxing vacation when there's like little kids around.
I understand. Speaking about vacations, I think we should talk about a certain vacation that's going to be coming up in late July.
The one where I go visit my girlfriend?
No.
I don't know which one you talked about, Johnny.
Well, let me refresh your memory. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's official. I will be heading up to Rochester. I'm going up to Rochester, New York, to go spend a week with Joe.
Wow!
In the flesh.
In the flesh.
It's amazing because we've been doing this podcast now for almost 6 months. I realize this whole 6 months we have yet to see each other in person. I don't know if people who, we're doing a video right now, so we can see each other right now, but everyone listens to the audio version. And sometimes I wonder if the people realize that we are never in the same room. We haven't been in the same room to do an episode of the podcast. And honestly,
in late July will be the first time that we're actually going to be in the room talking to each other. Okay.
Yeah, we will. Joe, during that week stay, how many episodes do you think we should record? Well,
I think we could probably do an episode a night. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, that's a lot. Now, would we post a new episode every day, or would we record like 5 episodes and then release them once a week?
I feel like if we did that, we would get off track. I feel like we should have like a podcast marathon week, or like maybe a podcast marathon like Wednesday, right? So we do all of the episodes each day of the week, and then we release it on Wednesday, all of them together.
Eek. See, that's a bad thing, because then somebody opens up their iPhone and they have 5 hours worth of content to listen to.
That's true.
And frankly, I don't think anybody loves us that much. But honestly, I'm really excited. This is the first time I'm going to be flying and I've never flew by myself before. In fact, it's been probably God, it's been at least 5 years since I've been on a plane. So 5, 6 years, I want to say.
Nice, nice. I haven't actually been on a plane since I was 9 years old.
Wow. But yeah, so it's kind of crazy to think, people don't realize this. I mean, Joe, we only see each other in person maybe
Twice a
twice
year,
a year. I would say twice a year. It's usually once in the summer,
and
and
then
then one during like a holiday, like a Thanksgiving or a Christmas.
yeah, yeah. And by the time you come down, John, hopefully I will have my license and a car.
And then maybe we can meet somewhere like in the middle, you know?
No.
What did that mean then?
Well, I was just saying,
Oh, screw you, my friend. Screw you.
if I'm going to drive to anybody for over 2 hours, it's going to be to see my girl, not see you.
Anyway, Joe, I gotta say, I'm very excited for this trip. I mean, are you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I really look forward to it. I wonder how the fans are going to react to like an podcast. What do you think about? How would you feel about a live podcast?
You got to explain a little bit more.
Like maybe we do it on the Wednesday that you're down, and we just do it right on the spot. Like no, like usually we sort of have something in our minds, but like no script, just like let's go, like let's just do it.
Yeah, no, we can definitely do some stuff. Yeah, we can definitely do something like that. I'm really excited though to see like what type of stuff me and you are gonna do while in Rochester. Is there anything you think we should do while down there? I mean, we had discussed, we got to do Buffalo Wild Wings, whatever Unlimited Wings night is. We got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were talking Dave and Buster's.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of mixing food with video games. Like unless it's a pizza in my basement, I just don't feel like I don't feel like it works very well.
Well, I want to go. I've never been before, and I think what better time to go than with my best friend.
All right, all right. Are you a paintball fan?
I've never gone. I'd like to go.
I might take you paintball, and paintballing's really fun. There's an indoor paintball place, and it's really cool. It's like it's like a castle almost, and like one team defends the castle, and the other team tries to take it.
So it's kind of like capture the flag in Call of Duty, or
no. It's kind of like you have to shoot everybody of the opposing team to take the castle or to defend the castle.
do you respawn?
Yes, you would have to touch the wall.
Okay, all right.
And some people do kill streaks, but I don't do kill streaks.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited for this. I'm a little nervous to be flying by plane. It's actually a very small plane. I found out. I've been doing some research. Very small. Oh, and I did something really stupid today. Joe, tell me how stupid this is. I actually went online and I read about the accidents that my plane has been in. And I don't know why, but that was a really dumb idea.
It was a dumb idea. Don't worry, John. You'll be fine.
Not just United Airlines, my plane.
Like, John, here's what I'll say, okay? You have a better chance of getting... Listen, John, okay? Does anyone in your family listen to this podcast?
Sometimes.
Don't let them listen to this episode, okay?
No. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. I don't know what you're gonna say, but frankly, I don't care to know at this point.
About certain people who drive cars, and if you could survive driving cars with them, you could sure as hell survive through a plane.
No, I am excited though, and I think me and you are gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a blast. And yeah, so that's gonna happen. Joseph and I will be meeting, and we'll be doing a bunch of live podcasts.
Let's make something clear. We've met before. We're not just
yes.
We've been friends for a long time. We've hung out.
All right, I should explain. If this is your first episode, this is your first time listening to us. First off, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Buy our t-shirts. And yes, Joseph and I have been friends for, has it been 8 years or 9 years?
Oh, 9 years.
So it's been 9 years of friendship.
It'll be 10 years in September.
Oh my god, that's insane. I kind of feel like you got to come down in September now so we can celebrate the 10-year anniversary.
I don't know, John.
Okay, so we've been best friends for almost 10 years now. And God, what are we doing? And so we've met plenty of times before. We've been best friends since junior high school. Oh my god. Joey, we've been friends since junior high school. And for some reason, you stuck with me.
I've tried to get rid of you, but you're like a little puppy.
Exactly. There you go. So I'll be coming up to Rochester. We're gonna have a bunch of live shows. Part of me even thought about, like, what if we did like a meetup? Like, we went to like a very public place in Rochester and had like a meetup and see if anybody would. But I highly doubt anybody would actually show up.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, we could dig it. I could dig it.
So that is gonna happen, July 23rd. Through, and I'll be leaving the night of July 29th. So about a week, and I'm very excited for it. And Joseph and I, we don't have set plans as to what we're gonna do while there and what we're gonna do with the podcast and that stuff. But I can tell you certainly we're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited for all of this, and it's gonna be great. It really is. So Joseph, what'd you have for lunch today?
I had a really good burger. It was a pizza burger, and I don't know if you noticed this about me or not, but I like to take my fries and I like to put them in the burger.
I did not know that. I know you like them in marinara sauce. I got that from you.
Yeah. But I also like to put them inside the burger. So I had that with fries, and
I don't know if I ever tried that before, to be completely honest with you.
It's really good. It's really good. I would highly recommend it. Next time you go to my uncle's diner, order a pizza burger and put your fries in it.
Okay, I'm down. This is how we bond. Joseph, please shut off the volume on that phone, please, because then it interferes with the podcast. Please, our listeners don't want to hear every time your girlfriend texts you.
Anyway,
did you shut off the volume?
Yes, and that came refillable slushies.
Refillable slushies? Where'd you go?
Well, we went to the aquarium in Philly.
Oh, refillable slushies. Dang.
I had 4 slushies, John.
Oh my god. What colors? What flavors?
I had one in each flavor.
What were the flavors? I want to know.
Cherry, and Coke.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, there were 4 flavors, and I had 4 slushies, but I didn't have all 4 flavors. So there was Coke, Coke, cherry, blueberry, and orange, and I had 1 Coke, 1 cherry, 1 blueberry, and then 1 mixed blueberry and cherry.
Oh, dude, that's great. I mean,
it was so good.
Oh, we gotta get down to this aquarium. My God, that's great. But God, I had baby back ribs today.
Ooh, how was?
Oh my God, they were really good from that place, DeMonte's on Staten Island.
Okay.
You know, I'm really disappointed. DeMonte's actually changed their name to Freddy's, which it just doesn't sound Italian, you know?
Wait, what?
You know the place DeMonte's?
Yeah.
They changed their name to Freddy's.
Freddy's? That's not Italian.
I know!
Well, it has the possibility to be Italian, but it's not as Italian.
I mean, Joe, what sounds more like, just sounding like, more authentic Italian food? Where would you want to go? If I said, Joe, do you want to go to DeMonte's or you want to go to Freddy's?
Well, my response would be, well, John, do you want to go get Italian food or fried food?
Exactly. There you go. I mean, it just sounds like so big. Freddy's, it sounds like the name that you would see at like a fair. Come out, Freddy's, you know?
Right.
Oh, my God. And so basically the story behind that is that DeMonte's used to be owned by 2 brothers, Freddie and the other guy, and I guess that was their last name, DeMonte.
Okay.
And so the one brother left, but there's some back history with that. There was like bad blood and stuff, so they can't use the DeMonte's name. So he changed it to his name, Freddy's, and they're changing around the story and everything, and you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, so far the food has stayed the same, and I really hope it stays. Because honestly, at the end of the day, that's what matters. You know, I mean, the appearance and everything. All right, you want to change that? You got to keep the food the same.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, don't change what. I mean, honestly, Joe, DeMonte's is great. I've brought you plenty of sandwiches from DeMonte's, right?
I mean, yeah, no, DeMonte's is good.
Is it better than the deli?
That's a tough one. That's really hard. I don't know. I gotta say, I don't know.
The thing is, you know, at DeMonte's, everything is 10 times fresher than it is at the deli.
Fresher does not equate to better, though.
I guess that's true in certain stance. Okay. But, yeah, so now it's Freddy's, and they're changing the appearance a lot. And then what happened was I said to the guy, I'm like, I've been coming to this place for over, like, 10 years. And unfortunately, everything's changing. He's like, yeah, man, I know. And I'm like, well, I hope, the food stays the same. He's like, oh, it's better than the same. It's better now, And I'm like, that's not good.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. I'm like, stick to the Monty's recipes, please. So I'm like, I don't want to have to go out and find a new butcher, please. So I'm like, so yeah, that's what I had
Nice.
today. But yeah, so lots to talk about. I've had a pretty crappy weekend. I broke my phone today. I cracked my screen.
I'm sorry. That's what I feel like every time I see your face too. So
I know, Joseph. You probably can't even see it on here.
I can't even see it. It doesn't. Oh wait, yes I can.
There you go.
How'd you do that?
And then you can see on the bottom too.
How'd you crack it?
So what happened was I went to go put my phone in my pocket, and it kind of missed, and it just kind of hit the floor, and that's what happened. It just, oh my god, I was so pissed off. I definitely said a few words that Joseph won't let me say on this podcast.
It sounded something like this. If I did let him say it on the podcast, bleepity bleep bleep bleep.
Yeah. And so, I'll tell you this story. What happened was, I was actually playing the telephone companies against one another on Twitter. I put on Twitter, and you can still see this, tweet exchange today. I put on Twitter that, just cracked my iPhone 6 Plus screen. Grr, today's gonna be a good day. And then, see, I'm with Verizon. I have a Verizon contract. But Sprint tweeted out to me. And they said, hey, John, we want to send you a new phone. Contact us now. And so I said at Sprint, hey, Verizon, Sprint is offering me a pretty good deal. How can you help me? And then Verizon tweeted out me, hey, John, we certainly don't want to lose you as a customer. How can we help? And I'm actually currently at war with Verizon right now because they told me I have insurance on the phone, that all this time I've been paying for insurance, which was great. Now, Joe, when you pay insurance for something, what does that entail? I've been paying insurance every single month for this phone. Now,
it's not like I'm a former law student or anything. I am. But I think when I think insurance, it means if you break it, they insure it. It's insured. You can get a new
Right. They're supposed to, like, okay, I've been paying for the insurance on this phone. You people should just send me a new one. Right?
Yes.
Not exactly. They told me, like, okay, Mr. Madigan, you do have insurance on the phone, which is good. All you're gonna have to do is call up this number for the insurance company, and, they will be able to send you a new phone. I'm like, excellent. Thank you guys so much. And then so I called up the insurance company and I filled out the claim. And they said, okay, we're ready to send you your new phone, Mr. Madigan. All we need is your deposit of $199.
You pay the insurance so you don't have to pay?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
You learn something new every day, John.
That's what I thought, and believe me, I was not happy. When I was told that they're like, yeah, if you want a new phone, it's still going to cost you $199. I'm like, then what am I paying the insurance for? I'm like, they said if I didn't pay the insurance, it would have cost me $300, which is sort of bull. Because I know I've put over $100 worth of insurance money into this phone, so it's like
lesson learned, John. Lesson learned.
Do not buy Verizon's insurance, damn it! Don't do that. They are ripping you off every day.
Speaking of deals, right? Me and my family got a pretty sweet deal actually today.
On what?
So what happened was we went to this hotel, right, and we had one suite, but the suite had 2 rooms.
Nice.
Right, you get what I'm saying? And so the first night that so my mom and my stepdad stayed in one room and me and my brother stayed in the other.
Okay, it was just the four of you?
It was just the four of us. Deary stayed home. She didn't.
Fair enough.
But and so my mom and Jeff went to go lay down on their bed, and their bed cracked in half.
Holy crap, really?
Right? Yeah, it cracked in half.
Bingo.
Anyway, so they moved us out of that room and put us into another room. And so when we went to check out this morning, they were like, "We're so sorry that happened to you. We're taking 2 nights off." And so we only paid for one night.
Oh, did they fix the bed though?
Well, yeah, we got switched to a new room, so we got a new bed.
A new suite or new suite took 2 nights off? That's excellent. And how was the suite? Like, was it nice? Was it a nice place?
Yeah, it was the same exact setup as the first one.
No, but in general though, like, was the place nice? Like, was it? It's like, oh
Yeah,
my God,
yeah,
it's
no,
a nice
it was
place.
really cool. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was like my brother woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and punched me in the face.
Why?
I was like, "William, what are you doing?" He was like, he looks around just like this. He looks around and he's like, "I got confused. I'm sorry," and goes back to it.
Oh my God, how old is he?
He's gonna be 9 in July.
That's. I mean, I'm really sorry. I mean, but
Like bopped me right in the face. I'm sorry. I got confused and went back to bed.
what did he get confused about? What was he punching you? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so that was some interesting cool stuff. That was a really cool deal because it saved us like $500.
That's awesome. That's great. I mean, honestly, good on them. Do you remember the name of the place? We can give them a shout out.
Oh gosh. I wish that I could remember it, but I just can't.
That's awesome, though.
It was good. It was good.
That's good, though. But overall, though, did you have a good vacation?
I did. I had a very nice vacation. It was really good. I ate a lot of good food, man. I mean, we went out to a lot of different places.
You said you had a few stories you wanted to say. You want to talk about on
Yeah,
the show.
no, I was shocked. I was very shocked. Now, I've lived in New York City my entire life, and I lived in, not my entire life, but a majority of my life. And I've lived in Rochester City for a few years, and I've never seen a homeless problem as bad as I did in Philadelphia.
Really?
I mean, there were people just sleeping on the streets left and right, and they were like tons of them, like hundreds of them, man. Like, it was really bad and really sad. And I mean, I was praying with them and stuff, and it was just really sad. Like, I just want to give a shout out right now. Like, if you're listening to this and you have some sort of maybe ministry idea to help the homeless people of Philly, I encourage you to do it because they're really in need of it.
Honest to God, when you were going with that, I thought you were about to say, if you're listening to this and you're a homeless person, I just
No.
I thought that's where you were going with it. Yeah, if you're a homeless person,
No,
you're a
no.
listener. My friend Sal Continato, he's a comedian. And by the way, guys, go check him out and go listen to his podcast, The Slant. Great show. He has this great joke where he was saying, and I can't do the joke justice, obviously. You have to go see him live. He's been performing it.
Does it, John?
I'm sorry?
Doesn't have cursing in it, does it?
No, not this joke. No. No. He's a great person. Honestly, he's been performing at Broadway Comedy Club for past few weeks now. So definitely go check him out. Sal Continato and the Slant podcast. Same place you can catch our show. He does this great joke. He does construction, and he was saying on this new house, they're putting outlets on the outside of buildings, right on the brick on the outside. He was like, this state is so conservative that we're worried about how the homeless people are going to charge their iPhones.
Gosh.
I mean, what are you saying gosh about?
It's not a joke, John. It's really sad.
I know, but he's insane. It's funny.
Anyway.
You got to make it so. Why can't you just sit there and laugh?
Well, I sit there and laugh every time I see your face. So. But anyway, John.
Yes, Joseph.
So you had a few questions for me, didn't you?
Those were all the stories you had?
Well, I have other stories, but I want to get to this.
Well,
portion.
no. You should go from one topic to the other. We're not going to jump back and forth.
What other stories do I have? Oh man. Yo, this one.
You said there was tons of pretty girls at the aquarium.
I did not say that, and you're getting cut. That's getting cut out.
Well, actually, you said much worse than that. So I was saying the nice version, Joe.
No, what I actually said is I was shocked at how promiscuously some of the women were dressed at the aquarium.
Okay, and I just didn't say it the smart way.
All right. No, John, there's a difference between pretty and promiscuous, okay?
What's the difference?
The difference is a pretty girl has like a dress that's long enough that like goes down to like her ankles or whatever, whereas like wearing like she covers herself, right? Because she is the property of nobody other than either God, her father, or her husband. All right. She ain't for everybody to see. Right. And so like I was very shocked. I was like, dang, like these girls, like if any of these were my daughter, they would never leave the house again wearing anything like that. Like if I can see more of your butt cheek than I can see of any other part of your body, we got a problem.
So what you're saying is that you prefer women who cover themselves up.
Very much so. Yes, modest is hottest.
So you must love the Muslim women then.
Now, John, come on now. They serve at false god.
But I'm just saying, the idea that, they cover themselves up, don't you think?
Well, they cover themselves up in vain.
But they save it only for their man, I mean, there's you gotta like that a little bit.
Well, here's the difference, John. Like, I think it's oppressive to women to have them so covered up that they're sweating like half their body weight out, right? In black clothes. Like, that's not what I'm talking about.
I've seen them in other colors.
Right? I'm just saying, like generally, like that's what I'm just saying. When you're uncomfortably hot, like that's not okay, right? But what I'm saying is like there's a modest amount of coverage that can go on, right? Like unless I'm married to a woman, I really don't want to see all that much of her.
I'll see it anytime you want. So
Difference between me and John right there.
But yeah, no. One question I wanted to ask. Speaking about Muslim women, is at what age do they decide to start wearing the hijab? I mean, is this kind of like an immediate thing? The woman comes out and then they make like baby hijab,
Well, I'm no expert, John, because I'm not Muslim, obviously, but I think it's when they hit adolescence.
Uh-huh.
That's when they have to put on once again, like if you're listening to this and you're Muslim and you know better, please email us, let us know, because I honest to goodness don't actually know for sure.
I had a friend in high school, and she was Muslim and she would wear the hijab every single day, and her and her mother were having a fight, and she rebelled and she came to school the next day without the hijab. And this was the first time, and I've been talking to her, I see her like every day at school, and this was the first time anybody saw her without it, and I couldn't believe it, it was different, you know what I mean? It was really,
yeah, absolutely. I remember I actually know a lot of Muslims. I'm used to be friends with a few Muslims, and it was interesting because one woman didn't have the hijab on, but the other one did. And so I asked one, I was like, well, why does she not have it, but she claims to be Muslim? And so the exact response was, I don't know why, but she's rebelling against Islam and she will go to hell for it.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Some people take it really seriously.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was very different. I mean, do you know anybody who, like, you had actively seen wear the hijab and then, you saw them take it off?
No. Any Muslim friend that I've had that's a female has either consistently worn it or has consistently not worn it. I've never seen somebody wear it and then not have it on.
Rebel. Got it.
I did hear somebody got arrested though for pulling one off. A Muslim.
I mean, I guess what do they charge you with for that?
It's obstruction of religious beliefs.
All right, that's fair, I guess.
I'll plead the fifth on whether it's fair or not. But, yeah, so he screamed, "This is America! Get out of America!" and pulled the hijab off her head.
Oh man, well, people. Oh man, do we want to dive into this topic?
No, I don't. Not at this hour. Maybe next week.
Next week on the J&J podcast, we talk Muslims. That'll be the title of the episode. Just Muslims. Joe, I think maybe we should.
Wait. So fans, I had an interesting idea as I was thinking about ideas for the podcast, and I talked about John and he said he would be on this episode. And so the general consensus or the general idea of this is like the average American, I feel like, does not read their Bible. Like they make a lot of assumptions about God. And I feel like John is the prime example of the average American. And so as a fairly average Bible school student, I wanted John to come up with questions, just general questions that he feels he has about the Bible that most normal people in America who don't necessarily read their Bible would ask.
Well, Joe, how am I a normal Bible student if I've never been a Bible student?
No, I'm saying that I'm an average Bible student. You're an average American. What are some questions that you don't inherently get answered at church or whatever, or some assumptions you have about God?
This segment is part of Joe's continued effort to turn this from a comedy podcast into a religious podcast.
Well, now wait a second. Let's be fair. Some of your questions could be stupid enough to be funny, and some of my answers could be.
Well, that's what I'm rolling the dice on.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping. Okay, so we're just gonna ask just a few questions and see how this works out.
All right.
Is it true that, as in The Simpsons, as they say, we're not supposed to be going to the bathroom?
Enlighten me. I didn't know about this. Like, I didn't know about this.
It's Reverend Lovejoy in The Simpsons, quote unquote, says everything is a sin. I mean, do you ever sit down and read this thing? Technically, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
No, that's just not true.
Okay, that's just something The Simpsons made up.
Yeah, that's something The Simpsons made up. Biblically, God created our biological process. In fact, there's a Hebrew prayer to be able to go to the bathroom smoothly.
I see. Okay. So, so this post on Tumblr was made to, it was kind of made as a, people actively say that they don't believe in gay marriage, or just being gay in general, because the Bible claims it's anti-gay. And there's a list of things that somebody made that the Bible also claims that you can't be doing, such as like cutting your hair. Does the Bible say we're not allowed to cut our hair?
The Bible does, in fact, not say that you're not allowed to cut your hair. What it does say is that there's a particular sect of people in the Jewish culture who are not allowed to cut their hair. Right? So if you take a certain vow, you're not allowed to cut your hair. But without that vow, you're allowed to cut your hair.
But Joe, that's not funny. That's not. You gotta come up with a funny answer.
Your face? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Are we allowed to wear like ripped jeans? Like will they have like a
Well, we're not supposed to be allowed to wear two different kinds of clothing.
No, it says not. It says ripped jeans. Just wearing jeans that have like a rip in it.
As far as I know, that is not part of anywhere in the Bible that it says that. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert in the Levitical law. I think a big problem is people are taking stuff from the Levitical law and saying this is what the Bible says. When the book of Leviticus Jesus says the law has been fulfilled, right? So not everything in the Levitical law applies to us today. And Jesus says what does and what doesn't.
So should people listen to Leviticus? Yes or no?
People should read Leviticus in light of the Gospels and the letters of Paul.
Okay. Why is John 3:16 used inside so many sporting events?
Because Americans are stupid.
But why John 3:16? Why that one?
Do you know what John 3:16 is, John?
I have read it multiple times, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
All right, I'm just gonna quote it to you. Okay,
A Family Guy said, they're making fun of this. They're showing, a football game, and the guy's holding up a sign. It says John 3:16, and Peter goes, what does that even mean? And then Brian the dog pulls out the Bible and says John 3:16, and the Lord said, "Go Sox."
What it says is this: For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him will not die but have everlasting life.
But what does that have to do with sporting events?
Absolutely nothing. Like I said, Americans are stupid. Right?
But is there Like, where's the correlation?
Okay, so Tim Tebow. Do we all remember Tim Tebow? God bless
This has
him.
been going on long before Tim Tebow.
Here's the God's honest truth. Okay, the reason why it's used so much, particularly in sports, is because it makes us feel good, right? You know what I noticed, John? No one ever posts or reads John 3:15 or John 3:16 or rather 17, right? We just have John 3:16, right? And I can't stand when they do that, right? Because the whole thing in context, right, isn't as simple, and it's not as easy. I mean, it is easy. Believe in Jesus and you're saved, but it's not as gooey as people want to make us believe. You know, and it really bothers me.
I got you. Do you think people out there believe that it does have to do with some sort of sporting event? It does, have to do with some sort of
Like
football or.
I can find you verses in the Bible that can apply to sports.
I'm saying, do you think people, they hold up that sign, they believe that it has something to do with baseball or football or.
I'm sure they do, and that's okay. Like God will honor that because it's faith, right? It's faith in Him. But I just think it's stupid to do.
Now the follow up to that is: do you think, knowing that that quote John 3:16 has nothing to do with the Bible at all, do you think people at sporting events should continue to hold up that sign?
No.
No, even though it kind of promotes the word of the Lord, it kind of, it makes people like me and you talk about this, and get the real word out there. Because if people weren't doing that, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
That's a fair statement, I suppose. Like I guess my problem with it is this: it's a verse taken out of context.
Right? All the time.
I mean, all the time. Like it drives me up a wall. Right, and for a long time, I actually stopped reading John 3:16 just because it annoyed me so much. Like I've gotten over that now. I read it, right? But just the way it's been used, like there's proper application to that particular verse. I've seen it used properly, but just the way it's been used, it just oh gosh, it just drives me up a freaking wall.
I want to call the name of this episode, and the Lord said, "Go sucks."
No.
Why not?
Because that's not what the Lord said.
You could have at one point.
No. So you asked an interesting question to me over the phone about homosexuality. Do you want to go into that, John?
I don't remember what question I asked you. You can't say, John, you asked me this question a week ago. You can't do that because I don't remember. I don't remember what I told you last night. I have to remember myself to even post this podcast. I'm like, Joe, I can't remember anything.
That fans, he doesn't remember you, but I do.
Anyway. Every week I've been on time. Okay, so even when I'm studying for finals and stuff, I take out time to edit this show and post it on time. So don't even with me right now.
Okay, so so you asked me, does God really hate gays? Right, and this is a big topic, and I really wanted to address it. And the simple answer:
give us the confirmed answer, Joe.
God does not hate gay people.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Whoa, no. Let me finish my sentence. God does not hate gay people, but homosexuality is not okay. Right. So, like, let me try to fix that. Like, let me try to explain that. Right.
Okay.
If I go out and I do something that my father doesn't enjoy, right, doesn't like, right. At no point in time does my father stop loving me, but he does not condone what I'm doing. Right? Now, don't make any mistake, right? The Bible says that no homosexual will enter the kingdom of God. Right? Like it's right there. Right? But the Bible also says that no thief will enter the kingdom of God. No fornicator will enter the kingdom of God. Like there's this whole list. Right? And so what we
all know people fornicate.
What?
People fornicate.
I get it, but listen to me. So, like, the whole idea is that people want to make this sin more than what it is. Like, it's a sin. And then Paul, at the end of that passage that says, like, no homosexuals will enter the kingdom of God, no thieves will enter the kingdom of God, no murder. Like, he gives down the list. He says, these things are what you used to be. Right? And so the hope of that verse is that the people listening, they're not like that anymore. Right, so if there's a homosexual who's listening to this podcast right now, like I want to encourage you, like God loves you, but you can be free from homosexuality.
All right, I got a question.
Go for it.
So what if two people have sex
Okay.
but they're not married,
Okay.
and they stay committed to one another. And then like 5 years later, they wind up getting married, and they've just been with each other that whole time. Is God still pissed off?
Well, what you have to
You're
understand,
still with the same person all along.
hear me out for a moment. So you asked two questions there, two separate questions. Okay. What if these two people have sex and then get married, and then is God still pissed off? What you have to understand is when Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins,
Yeah.
right? The wrath of God was poured out upon him. So God can literally, if you're a Christian, if you believe in Jesus, right? God can literally not look at you with anger because all of his anger was poured out on Jesus. There's no more anger left. So like no matter what stupid thing I do, and it doesn't give me license to go and commit sin. Like it's not okay to go and commit sin. But whatever sin I do commit, God's never looking at me and saying, I'm gonna kill you or I'm angry at you. Like God doesn't
Not kill you, but like maybe not let you into the kingdom.
Well, no, but that's the point, right? Like none of us could get into the kingdom without him. And so all of our sin is equally wrong to God. And so he poured out his wrath on Jesus. Now, to answer the technical question of whether it's a sin or not, right? It's still a sin if they have sex outside of marriage, right?
Even if they've stayed together the whole time.
Even if they stay together, and I can explain why. Sex is something for the covenant of marriage, right? So even if they're married, even if they're going to get married to the person they're having sex with, because the covenant has not been reached yet, right? The covenant hasn't been established yet, then it's a sin. So it would be like this. It would be like if I walked into GameStop and I took the new Call of Duty out, right? And I stepped out of the store and the manager stops me and is like, you can't take this game out without paying for it. And I say, well, I was always going to intend to come back and pay for it. Like the covenant needs to be established before sexual relation happens.
I'd like to, at this point, admit something to you, Joseph, live on the J&J podcast.
Okay.
It's just funny you mentioned that. One time, I was in Manhattan, and I went into a 7-Eleven, and I got myself a large Slurpee and a slice of pizza from there. And I waited in line, and I realized I didn't have my wallet. And I said that to the guy, and he was like, "Oh, just go take the stuff and then come back and pay me." I was like, "Oh yeah, man, no problem." And it's been about 3 years, and I still haven't paid my $4 back. Am I going to hell, Joseph?
Have you asked for forgiveness, John?
Yes, I have.
Then no, you're not going to hell. But
And I've gone back and I've purchased more Slurpees and.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Tomorrow or whenever you're in Manhattan, go there, lay down $4, and just leave.
No, I'm good. You said I'm forgiven, right?
Right. Well,
he doesn't need my $4.
Well, like that's not the point, though. Like,
that's a true story.
Right, the point is this. Like, here's the point, right? So, like, you're forgiven now in God's eyes, right? But there's this thing called restitution, right? So you took something, and you didn't pay back what you should have, right? So restitution really is you give back what you owe, right? Like, there's like a giving back.
Uh-huh. So I just say, hey guys, look, about 3 years ago, this employee told me I could take a Slurpee and a slice of pizza, and I did, and I never came back for the money, so here you go.
That's exactly
how and they're going to be like, you creep, just it's $4, who cares?
Well, if they release you, if they say, who cares, we're not going to take it, then you're fine, and then it's all good, right? But at least try.
What if I walk in there and like the alarms start going off? Like, we caught him! Finally, 3 years on the run!
Well, God's forgiven you, but 7-Eleven hasn't. Yeah. All right, John, I have work in the morning.
What do you mean? So do I. Guys, we both have work in the morning.
Do you have any other questions?
What are you doing tonight?
Going to sleep in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Dude. Why are you doing that to us? Why are you doing that to the fans, to the podcast?
Fans, do you want a healthy Joe Vassallo? I'm sure you do. Okay.
I don't.
So anyway, do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. That's something that like I really wanted to do, and really, fans, if you have any questions, prayer requests, or anything like that, please ask. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, send all your comments, feedback, and whatever to podcasts@jmadigan.com. Joseph, we also need to come up with an episode title. How about John 3:16?
That works. I can dig it as long as the word gets out somehow. Someone.
There you go. John 3:16, everybody.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the J&J podcast each and every week on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher. Thank you so much for listening to us. We have over 960 downloads. We're really hoping to get to 1,000 really soon. Definitely go online and check out our merchandise. Buy your t-shirts and hoodies and coffee mugs at www.jnjpodcast.spreadshirt.com. That link will be in the description of the episode below. Each one of your purchase helps keep this podcast going for many, many, many more months. Thank you guys so much, each and every day. Joe, do you have anything else you want to say?
We have to do our recommendations.
All right, fair enough. My recommendation for the week, and I had a good one too. Oh, Captain America #1.
Joe, is that when he becomes a Nazi?
Hail Hydra.
Oh wow, how was it?
It was. I mean, I want to spoil it. It just came out this week, but Hail Hydra. Yeah, so I recommend go out and get Captain America #1. Joe, of course, I'll let you borrow it. But it's a good one. People are pissed though about this.
I'm pissed, and I haven't even read it.
Chris Evans is pissed too.
I'd be pissed too. I mean, Captain America. What does it say about America that we have to decide between Trump, a socialist, and Hillary Clinton, and then all of a sudden Captain America becomes a Nazi? Like, I don't think that's a coincidence.
Do you think, like, episode #2, it's going to come out to be, like, a dream or something?
I think so, yeah. I don't think they can do that.
It was the last page, too. It was the last page. You just see him looking. It just says Hail Hydra. That's it. The book ends.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do something. Like, it's going to be a dream or something.
That would be interesting, though. I mean, this is... So I recommend you guys go out to your local comic book store. My local comic book store is Comic Book Jones on Forest Avenue in Staten Island, New York. So go check out them. Pick up Captain America #1. Joe, you?
I gotta think. I did so much cool stuff this weekend. I have so many recommendations, I think is my problem.
I think the problem is you don't have a recommendation, and you're kind of freaking out right now because you realize you don't have a recommendation, and you're just trying to think of something, anything that you can recommend.
No, okay. I guess if I had to recommend one thing, it would be the city of Philadelphia. Go visit there.
Whole city?
It was just so good. There was the Franklin Institute Museum. That was awesome. There was the Philadelphia Zoo, which was awesome. There was the Philadelphia Aquarium, which was awesome. We had great food. Aside from, like, the homeless people situation, which really does need to be taken care of. Like, those people do need help. But,
homeless people need to go away.
They don't need to go away. They need to be helped.
We'll get on the homeless issue next week on the J&J podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening to us each and every week. I hope you enjoyed this show. Peace out, Cub Scout.
Peace out, Cub Scout.